today for the Gentlemen's Serenade. First introduced a few years ago, the Gentlemen's Serenade is a very special event started by Dan Boland and his wife Ellen. Its purpose is to bring together the young men participating in the Jewel Ball and the generations of women who are so close to them. From the moment you arrived and were escorted to your seats, I suspect you had an idea of the wonderful afternoon which was in store for you. You will not be disappointed. My deepest thanks to our Gentlemen's Serenade chairs, Dan Boland, Matt Leakley, where's Matt? Matt over here. And Scott Robertson, where are you, Scott? Somewhere? No, there. Who, with just a few rehearsals, have worked with these young men to create a beautiful, heartfelt serenade just for you. Thank you as well to our Serenade liaisons, Carrie Larson and Cynthia Savage, for all your help and hard work coordinating and executing this memorable afternoon. The Jewel Ball Honorary Chairman is Mrs. Thomas Myron Higgins III. Paget is unable to be here today, but she sends her very best wishes to you, and she looks forward to seeing you on the evening of June 21st. My Vice Chairman is Mrs. William John Albert Kim, and she will be an outstanding chairman of the Jewel Ball in 2026. Thank you, Kim, for all of your help and support this year, both in your official capacity and as my sister. I would like to introduce our Men's Advisory member who's here today. He is Mr. Michael Dwayne Fields. Michael, thank you for joining us. Two other important Jewel Ball Committee chairs who are here today and who we would like you to recognize are Debutante Chairman Carolyn Parkerson. Carolyn, raise your hand. And Jewel Ball Chairman Christina Hogan. Over the past year. You may have noticed members of the Scrapbook Committee taking photos in addition to our Public Relations Committee working with our professional photographer Tyler Wilkin. Together, these committees preserve the memories of our special Jewel Ball events. Lindsay Yeager is our PR chair. The co-chairs are Kat Larison and Kristen Patterson. They're here somewhere. Diana Russ and Sarah Dunn are Scrapbook Committee chairs. To the mothers and grandmothers here today, you play very important roles in the lives of each of these young men. We are delighted that you can celebrate together at this special occasion. To you, the gentlemen of the Jewel Ball 2025, you're an impressive group. I now know you can tie a bow tie, or at least have a good inkling of how it is done. From attending your rehearsals, I know you can sing. Mothers and grandmothers, you are in for a great treat. We are looking forward to sharing these upcoming couple of wonderful weeks with you. This concludes my comments, and thank you for being here, and hold on to your seats.
Thank you, Peggy. First of all, I want to thank the mothers and grandmothers for giving us the opportunity, and we want to thank you for letting us work with these fine young gentlemen. Each young man came prepared, they were on time, and they took it seriously, which is a nice compliment to both themselves and their families. Mark Twain remarked, "I left home at the age of 19 thinking my dad was the most ignoramus fool I'd ever met. I traveled the world and came back and was amazed in 3 short years how much my father had learned." If you think of the boy that you dropped off in the dorm room or at campus, and the gentleman that you saw today walking you to your seats, you can see that they've been on a journey. And I'm going to take a moment because I want to explain this. Part of this, how we do things, was a result of a conversation I had with a business school dean. And the dean made the comment that the kids, although we send a lot of our graduates, it seems like the kids, particularly those who went to boarding schools on the East Coast, just are a little bit step level, not intellectually, but in their social skills. Now that kind of made me angry. And then I had a conversation with a guy in McKinsey & Company, which is a big consulting firm, and he said, well, we've talked to Goldman Sachs and we've talked to the big 4 accounting firms, and one of our biggest problems today is that our young graduates do not seem to know the difference between an adult cocktail party and a college cocktail party. And I think the more I thought about it, the Jewel Ball itself and us working with these men is a perfect prelude for their professional careers. Because gentlemen, what they're expecting at the next level is not manners that are acceptable in college. They're expecting a step up. And what we're trying to do, and the Jewel Ball's trying to do, is how you act and how you conduct yourself in college is at one level. And this is the new level. And we're trying to teach you, among your friends, how to conduct yourself, how to introduce yourself at the next level. So although this is, we've heard many times, this is for your mother and grandmother, this is really, in addition to that, it's for yourself. So at the next level, not that you're arrogant, but that you have the confidence to compete with anybody in the country. And I think if you go through the Jewel Ball, by God, you can compete. And with that, to show us how well they've learned, I'm going to call on Beckett.
Good afternoon. My name is Beckett James Angers. My friends call me Beckett. I'd like to introduce my mother, Miss Meredith Rich Angers.
Adam.
Good afternoon. My name is Adam Francis Bell. My friends call me Adam. I would like to introduce my grandmother, Mrs. Julia Wharton. And I would also like to introduce my mother, Mrs. Susan Bell.
Zach.
Good afternoon. My name is Zachary Tyler Berg. My friends call me Zach. I'd like to introduce my grandmother, Mrs. Kathy Schultz. I'd also like to introduce my mother, Mrs. Jamie Berg.
Fisher.
Good afternoon. My name is Cooper Scott Blair. My friends call me Cooper. I'd like to start by introducing my grandmother, Kathy Waller. Next, I'd like to introduce my mother, Mrs. Leslie Blair.
And Mitchell, will you have the pleasure of reintroducing him?
Good afternoon. My name is Mitchell Edward Blair. My friends call me Mitchell. I would like to introduce my grandmother, Mrs. Kathleen Waller. I would also like to introduce my mother, Mrs. Leslie Blair.
Mr. Eccles.
Good afternoon. My name is William Robert Eccles. My friends call me Billy. I would like to introduce my grandmother, Cheryl Eccles. I would like to introduce my grandmother, Jane Drew. I would also like to introduce my mother, Emily Eccles.
Hayden.
Good afternoon. My name is Hayden Webster Fowey. My friends call me Hayden. I would like to first introduce my grandmother, Mrs. Nancy Menahan. Secondly, I would like to introduce my mother, Mrs. Erin Fowey.
My friends call me Leo. I'd like to introduce my grandmother, Mrs. Shirley Bush-Hillsburg.
Good afternoon. My name is Joseph Allen Hoffman. My friends call me Joey. I would like to introduce my grandmother, Mrs. Mary Kilroy. I would also like to introduce my mother, Mrs. Bridget Hoffman.
Lewinsky.
Good afternoon. My name is John Garrison Holowinski. My friends call me John. I would like to introduce my mother, Mrs. Amy Holowinski.
And Mr. Hyde, you've got several.
Good afternoon. My name is Peter Winfield Hyde III. My friends call me Trey. I would like to introduce you to my grandmother, Ms. Vicky Beatty. I would also like to introduce you to my grandmother, Ms. Sam Hyde. And I'd like to introduce you to my mother, Ms. Jamie Hyde.
Good afternoon. My name is Landrum Walsh Johns. My friends call me Landrum. I would like to introduce to you my mother, Miss Heather Johns.
Taylor.
Good afternoon. My name is Taylor Lacey. Friends call me Taylor. I'd like to introduce you to my grandmother, Mrs. Lois Lacey. I'd also like to introduce my mother, Mrs. Kendall Lacey.
Patrick.
Good afternoon. My name is Patrick O'Reilly. My friends call me Patrick. I would like to introduce my grandmother, Mrs. Jane McCliney. And I would like to introduce my mother, Mrs. Robin McCliney.
Charlie.
Good afternoon. My name is Charles Alexander Penner. My friends call me Charlie. And I'd like to introduce you to my mother, Mrs. Gina Penner.
William.
Good afternoon. My name is William Perriam. My friends call me Will. I would like to introduce you to my grandmother, Mrs. Wendy Powell. I would like to introduce you to my grandmother, Mrs. Kathy Rosser. And I would like to introduce you to my mother, Mrs. Jessica Perrin.
Mason.
Good afternoon. My name is Mason Joseph Pluar. My friends call me Mason. I would like to introduce you to my mother, Mrs. Heather Pluar.
Jackson.
Good afternoon. My name is Timothy Jackson Cyphers. My friends call me Jackson. I'd like to introduce you to my grandmother, Mrs. Lorley Gibson, and my mother, Allie Cyphers.
Matt.
Good afternoon. My name is Maxwell James Sprott. My friends call me Max. I would like to introduce my grandmother, Miss Andrea Whitmore. And I would like to introduce my mother, Miss Molly Sprott.
Gopher.
Good afternoon. My name is Christopher Thomas Thornberry. My friends call me Topher. And I would like to introduce my mother, Miss Megan Thornberry.
Truxas. My friends call me Drew. I would like to introduce my grandmother, Mrs. Susan Truxas. I would also like to introduce my grandmother, Mrs. Ann Cooling. And I would also like to introduce my mother, Mrs. Sarah Truxas.
Fritz.
Good afternoon. My name is Thomas Frederick Bellini. My friends call me Fritz. I'd like to introduce my grandmother, Mrs. Mindy Sutherland, and I'd also like to introduce my mother, Mrs. Amy Bellini.
Gregor.
Good afternoon. My name is Gregor Alcala Weidman. My friends call me Gregor. I would like to mention my grandmother, Mrs. Drolette Weidman, who cannot be with us today. I wish she could. And I would like to introduce my mother, Mrs. Lorena Weidman.
We just saved you Christmas, Gregor. Will.
Good afternoon. My name is William P. L. Wood. My friends call me Will. I would like to introduce my grandmother, Mrs. Patty Wood, and I would like to also introduce my mother, Mrs. B. Wood.
Barrett.
Good afternoon. My name is Barrett Wood, Corrigan Woods. My friends call me Barrett. I'd like to introduce my grandmother, Miss Margie Paxton. I'd also like to introduce my mother, Mrs. Jenny Chapin.
Well done, gentlemen. And now we're going to have you sing for your supper. Please come up, gentlemen.
For our first song, we'll be singing I Took My Girl Out Walking. 3, 2, 1.
I took my girl out walking late one Saturday night. I took my girl out walking, the moon was shining bright. I asked my girl to marry me, and what do you think she said? She said she would not marry me if the whole wide world were dead. That's why I do like I do, like I do. That's why I do like I do, like I do. That's why I do like I do, like I do. That's why I do like I do, like I do. You must be a Jew ball man, Jew ball through and through. And if you are a Jew ball man, you always have a plan. So here's your glass of champagne, sparkling and so clear. Not as sweet as a young girl's kiss, but a damn sight more sincere. That's why I do like I do, like I do. That's why I do like I do, like I do. That's why I do like I do, like I do. That's why I do like I do, like I do. Jewel Ball Gents.
For our second song, we'll be singing an English King. 3, 2, 1.
An English king with a brass earring danced with his pretty little maid, and every night in the pale moonlight across the moat he'd wait. He'd hug and kiss his pretty little miss in the shade of a castle tree, and every night in the pale moonlight he'd sound like this to me. Ta-rum, 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 tilly-um, tilly-ay, ta-rum, 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 tilly-um, tilly-ay. Down in the old cherry orchard, under the old cherry tree, every night in the pale moonlight she sang sweet songs to me. That's where I first met and kissed her, that's where she promised to be. Down in the old cherry orchard, under the old cherry tree, cherry tree.
Okay, boys, let's bring it home.
For our third and final song, we'll be singing Sweethearts Divine. 3, 2, 1.
Sweethearts divine have been sweethearts of mine, but there's only one girl in my dreams. Oh, what a girl! She has my brain in a whirl, and there's none can compare, so it seems. I ask you, how'd you like to be my jewel sweetheart? How'd you like to wear my jewel pin? How'd you like to gaze upon the diamond gem of gem that ne'er goes dim? How'd you like to share a jewel friendship, friendship that will last for life? How'd you like to love your escort always? How'd you like to waltz all night? Her eyes are blue as the Kansas sky. Her lips are like the rose. She's different from all other girls. How I love her, no one knows. No one knows. In my fondest memories, never shall we part, for she is my dear one, and I am her dear one. She is my sweetheart, for jewel all night.
There's a Harvard Business School Harvard Business School review article, and it talked about gaining young graduates and trying to make them part of an organization. And it suggested put them in scenarios that they're uncomfortable, make them operate on a higher level, and you can have a great team. And from my view, this is a great team, and they operate at the highest level. Thank you.